What's up, guys? Magic Libra back today with 4 new Dark Magician support cards that are fan animations that I believe I have created, that I believe that this is what we need for the Dark Magician deck to actually be or have some competitive viability. Also, this video is a Dear Konami, this is what Dark Magician needs. So let's start out with this level 6 Dark Spellcaster Effect Monster that has 2100 attack and 1800 defense. And as you can tell based on the artwork, it looks a lot like Apprentice Illusion Magician, but this is more like the boy version. So this is Illusion Apprentice Magician. So kind of like her brother, basically. And his stat line is 100 points stronger than her, because it's a newer card and it's a stronger card. So the effect of this card is you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 card, which he shares that same ability with her, so that's nice to see. Quick effect, you can banish this card you control, add 1 card from your deck to your hand that mentions Dark Magician in its text. Then, if you control no monsters, special summon this card, so it's banished by its own effect. So you summon it, and then you activate its effect to remove it off the field and search. And if you control no monsters, you can special it back from Banish Zone. That's nice. I like that. So special this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So if it leaves the field again, it'll be banished. Its last effect says, if this card is banished except by its own effect, add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Illusion Apprentice Magician once per turn. So based on this card, I can see how this would be good with the new support that Konami released for Dark Magician. If you have this card in hand, you discard any other card, special it. Then quick effect, banish it, and add any card from the Dark Magician archetype, besides Dark Magician himself. And then, if you control no monsters, special it back, but banish it when it leaves the field. Well, now you have a level 6 Dark Spellcaster, and you've added a card from the Dark Magician archetype, maybe such as Soul Servant, and you could just play Soul Servant and activate a spell. Well, now you've met the conditions to summon the Dark Magician Fusion monster. So you can banish this card with the Dark Magician Fusion monster's inherent summon ability to summon the Dark Magician Fusion monster. Well, now that this card has been banished, except by its own effect, you can add this card to your hand. And then you could just resummon this card and do another search next turn, which is really nice. And then you can just go into the whole Dark Magician Fusion play, which is when it's summoned, you can add another card, which is probably the Gaze of Timaeus, and then make Dragoon just like that with a discard in hand, which is actually pretty good. This is altogether probably a 1.5 card combo, which is actually very nice. Alright, let's move on to the next card. So we have Dark Magic Spell, a normal spell card that says add 1 card from your deck or grave to your hand that mentions Dark Magician in its text, except Dark Magic Spell. Then, if you control no monsters, or you only control a Dark Spellcaster monster or monsters, you can draw 1 card and then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. You can only use 1 Dark Magic Spell per turn. Very nice. This is a generic searcher for the deck, which is very nice. Generic spell searcher for the deck is actually what we needed. Soul Servant was okay, but this is actually even better because you get to search a card and then you get to draw and discard, so you can kind of fix your hand a little bit, which is very nice. I think this card actually works in tandem with the Illusion Apprentice, because once you summon the illusion and you quick effect banish it, you can then add this card because it mentions Dark Magician in its text, and then you can revive back him. And then you can just play this and add another card, maybe even add a second copy of Illusion. I don't know. And then, well, you do control a monster, but it says, or you only control a Dark Spellcaster monster, which that's what this is. You can then just draw another card and discard a card, which is good to help fix your hand, which is really nice. I think these two are paired very well together, and the fact that you don't need this to start the combo, you could start with this card, and it could then search this card, and then discard a card and summon it and do they're starters basically. That's pretty nice. But what's the other card you're searching? Because if you play this, you search this, or if you play this, you search this. And whichever one you play second also searches another card. So what other card are we searching? What part of the combo? So let's move on to the next card here. Dark Magic. Alright, we have a card called Dark Magic. Regular spell card. Banish 2 cards from your graveyard. Okay, this is not a card that can be started as a starter. This is probably mid-combo. So that'll be in the grave. And you discard a card with that card at the very least. So you'll have 2 cards in the grave. And then you search this in the end combo, which that should work out. Okay. So you banish 2 cards from the grave. Special summon both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or grave. Okay. That's it? Okay, that's just that part. Okay, so you banish 2 from the grave and you special DM and DMG from hand, deck, or grave. Very nice, very nice. You can banish this card from your grave, so it's a second effect activation. You can banish this card from your grave, activate 1 spell or trap card from your deck that mentions Dark Magician in its text except Dark Magic. Okay, that just opens up any single copy card that you want to play in the deck. I'm thinking Eternal Soul, so we can just place it on the field. Or Circle. Actually summoning both DM and DMG, you could do Dark Burning Magic. There's that. Any of the attack cards, so Dark Burning Attack, Dark Magic Attack, Dark Magic Twin Burst. You could do Dark Magic Inheritance. You could do a lot of cards here. That's really nice. Okay, so activate 1 spell or trap card from your deck that mentions Dark Magician in its text, except for Dark Magic. And if it resolves, okay, so there's an additional effect. If it resolves, you cannot summon monsters for the rest of the turn, for the rest of this turn, except spellcaster monsters. Okay, so it's a little bit balanced there. You're locked into the whole Dark Magician archetype instead of mixing it with other archetypes like how Dark Magician does now. So you're locked into only spellcasters. Okay, and this is not a quick play. This is a regular spell that you banish this from the grave to activate from the deck, and then if it resolves, you're locked into spellcasters. Okay, this is a 10 out of 10. I love this card. This is a good card. You can only use each effect of Dark Magic once per turn. Okay, so even if one effect gets negated, you can still activate the second effect on grave. So that's nice. It says each, so I like that. That's pretty good. All right, 10 out of 10 for that one. And great artwork because it has both DM and DMG and it summons them both. So I love that. That's great. All right. Fourth card. We have a light level 4 spellcaster tuner effect monster with 2,000 attack and 800 defense, and it's the reverse stats of Mystical Elf. I love that. So this card is called Mystical Elf of Chaos. So what this card does is, if this card is normal or special summon, you can send from your deck to the graveyard 1 card that is Dark Magician, or mentions it in its text. Okay, so you just, when you normal or special, you just get to mill a card from the archetype to the grave to help support the combo, I guess. Okay, cool. Quick effect, you can banish one light and one dark monster from your grave. Okay, so this is while this card's on the field. Special summon one monster from your deck or grave that lists Dark Magician in its text, ignoring summoning conditions, but banish it if it leaves the field. Okay, so you just get to mill and you get to summon from deck or grave, ignoring summoning conditions. So the first thing I can think of is Illusional Chaos. But banish it if it leaves the field. Okay. Decent. Very decent. And mid combo cost. I guess not mid combo because Mystical Elf is a light and you send a dark, but Mystical Elf needs to stay on the field, so you also need to put another dark in the grave or put a light in the grave. Doesn't matter what you send. Okay, pretty good. But banish it if it leaves the field. All right. You can only use each effect of Mystical Elf Chaos once per turn. Not bad. And it's a light level 4, so that's searchable off of the toy engine. So that's pretty good. These are the 4 cards that I got here. So I think that's a 3 of. That's definitely a 3 of. That's possibly a 1 or 2 of. Definitely not a 3 of because you can't just play it when you have it going first. You have to do it after doing combos. So probably a 1 or 2 of. But it locks you into spellcasters. So this is a card that can only be played during your turn, not during your opponent's. If this were a quick play, it'd be a little bit more broken, but it's still a pretty decent card. I love it. 10 out of 10 for this. But even though these are better 10 out of 10s, this is more like a 9 out of 10. Still a really good card. And this one's, I'd say I'd give this probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. Pretty good. You just get to normal, mill, and then quick effect, banish, summon, and then if it leaves the field, well, you get the quick effect, banish 2, summon 1 from deck or grave, and that puts 2 monsters on board. So that's actually, I'd give that 9 out of 10. I'd give this, it would be better if it had a third effect, but yeah, I'll give it 8 out of 10. I'll give it 8 out of 10. I think these are cards that the Dark Magician archetype really needs. These artworks are more related to Dark Magician. This one is just like actual fan support because it's just Mystical Elf, and it has everything to do with Mystical Elf with a little bit of chaos, but it specifically mentions Dark Magician. So I guess this card could search it, that card could search it. Which one of these specialed a monster that mentions Dark Magician? Did one of these do that? Deck to hand that mentions Dark Magician. Deck or grave to hand that mentions Dark Magician. So you could play this, search this, play this, search this, normal this, send a card, maybe like Soul Servant, or something else, I don't know. Or send another monster, because like you could, that won't be in the grave. That might be in the grave if you link it off or exceeds, and then you could send a light maybe to the grave. I don't know. It's a pretty cool application. There definitely needs to be more support for sure. But these are good starters. These 3 are in tandem like the best. This card though is this one's a little bit extra. But that tuner though, making it a level 4 tuner, is really good because a level 4 tuner mixed with our level 6 makes a level 10, mixed with a level 7 Dark Magician makes a level 11. Or if you're playing the toy engine, you can go level 8s, which is also really nice. Or if you play Rod, you can go into a synchro for a 7. Souls, you can go synchro for 5. There's a lot of options here with a level 4 tuner. That's actually really good. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Konami, please take a look at all of these and give it a look over. And I know you're already producing cards and you've probably already created them. And I hope there's more that you give us and you're just giving us a little at a time. But we need at least 8 support cards like Blue Eyes did, because they got like 8, and so far we've only got 2 extra deck monsters and a spell and a trap. So we still need at least 4 more cards that will make our strategy viable. So please, Konami, read these cards, get some inspiration here. I got tons of ideas, and so does the community. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. We're aiming for 500 subscribers. And that's going to be it, guys. Peace out. Keep it real.